Well, hello, Live Run Boundless family. Welcome to another episode of the Live Run Boundless Show. I'm your host, Kenneth Pinckney. Today, guest on Live Run Boundless Show is a young lady I actually come across her last year on an email thread that I daughter do with Mama Lisa Fielder as we were preparing for the Miwok 100K last year of 2025 or something like that. You know, for some reason the young lady I'm about to chat with stuck out to me, and I decided to reach out to her and had to interview her to know more about her running life and just her journey. And a little bit about her. Right now, she is a Kenyan-American runner for Oregon. Um, she's been active and running through different sports in the age of 6, such as basketball, soccer, track. During college, she was a casual road runner. She fell in love with trail running after moving back to Portland in 2022. Her first ultra marathon in 2023 with the Portland Trail Series. She has she had numerous other races since then, such as Mosquito Canyon 50 miler, Gorge Waterfall 100K, Mountain Lakes 100 miler, Chuck Knot 50K, Western State 100, and of course Miwok 100K, along with other road marathon, sub ultra trail races. She not only run for herself, but she used her running to advocate for people like her, like me, and to increase outdoor access and participation among communities, showing what is possible. So all of that, welcome Cindy Shepard, aka Black Cindy Runs, to the Run Boundless Show. We're thinking about that.
Thank you.
Like that? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, also. So I like to get started for the beginning. We could get started with running and how running been part of your life. But I would like to start with the Kenyan side of you and how that maybe play a part of your running journey.
Yeah. So I did live in Kenya till I was 6 years old. I'm half Kenyan, half American, and
Yeah.
my brother and I lived in Kenya with our mother until I was 6 and he was 9. By that point, my parents were already split up, so we didn't really know our dad at that point. I didn't remember him. I didn't know who he was. And then our mom passed away when I was 6 years old and my brother was 9. And the embassy contacted my dad, and so he brought us to the U.S. and he brought us to Oregon. And the things I remember about my mom, it was a little different living in Kenya. It was actually very different, living with my family. We lived in a small village. But I do remember following my brother around everywhere, like, kids do. I always wanted to run around. I always wanted to play with him and his friends. So that's basically how I got started, was just following my brother around everywhere. And then my dad, after we moved to the US, we kind of had to get to know him because we didn't know who he was. And so that was a little jarring. It was very jarring. Also because my dad is white and my mom is Kenyan. And so when we were put into this very white environment in the suburbs. And my dad at the time he was seeing a Black American woman. And so we kind of latched onto her because she looked the closest to our family members that we knew. So right from the get-go, we would kind of just follow her around everywhere. And I think she realized that we needed like a lot of cultural support as well. She tried her to find us like other people from the East African community, but at that time, most of the people coming here were like Ethiopians and Eritreans. And they'd be like, "I'm sorry, we don't speak their language. We don't speak Swahili."
Wow.
And so, but she did get us involved in the community. She really sort of took over the raising of us and put us into these like track meets. My first track meet was at 6 years old. And those neighborhood track meets that would happen on like Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so that's basically how I started running. And I just,
Oh.
because I loved running, and
Yeah.
tag was my favorite game. And I used to just play with my brother. I loved anything that involved running.
Yeah.
So I think that was a way for our mom to make us feel, our stepmom to make us feel more, um, comfortable in the
Yeah.
community and to
Yeah.
get us out there and to make friends. And so that's how we both started in sports. Um, and then after that, as we were growing up, we were in a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
We did tennis. My
Oh,
mom was
nice.
a tennis player at that point.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So I grew up watching and hearing about, Venus
Yeah.
and Serena.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we did some tennis lessons. We did soccer lessons. I did
That's cool.
ballet, tap dance at one point. My mom would just throw us into basically everything for the
Okay
summer.
then.
And we
Yeah.
went to the Boys and Girls Club every summer. So there was a lot of programming there.
Yeah.
But I do think the Kenyan aspect of it comes in when I realized that the only thing that my home country was known for was running, really. That was
Yes.
like the
Yes.
most famous thing it was known for.
Yes.
And that made me also want to become a better runner because
Yes.
people, it's like they hear about Kenya and they think running, but they don't understand that there's really there are only a few tribes that are known for that.
Oh, okay.
They're within a coalition of tribes called the Kalenjins. So those
Okay.
are like, you can think like the Maasai, for example, the most
Yeah.
famous example.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's only that's like a coalition of tribes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that
Okay.
coalition is only
Yeah.
about 3 million strong
Oh, wow.
in a country of over 45 million people.
Oh,
And
wow.
so
Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah.
most of us are not runners.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing we're known for.
So you educating me now. So yeah, we think of Kenya, this everybody run Kenya, but Kenya is so big, they got different tribes. And
Different
so
ethnic groups, yeah.
yeah, okay, okay.
And there's very few of the people in those ethnic groups actually run.
Okay,
And so
okay.
it was strange to come here and have people like, oh, is that why you're a runner? And it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, I don't know. I like running, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I did find out my biological mom was also very sporty.
Okay,
And
yeah.
she played volleyball.
Nice.
She was in like a track club that was organized by Kip Keino,
Okay,
who
yeah.
is a former Olympian from
Yeah,
Kenya.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so she was
yeah,
also very sporty.
yeah.
But again, I feel like we just didn't have we're not the right build of like,
Okay.
you look at a lot of the people from those tribes that are really successful,
Yeah,
very light body weight.
yeah.
And so, I was not really from a tribe that ran, but I really liked doing it. And so I
Okay,
sort of
yeah.
leaned into the stereotype when I moved to the US.
Yeah, yeah.
And except I was more into sprinting sports and things like that.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I was a pretty fast runner when I was
Yeah,
younger
yeah, yeah.
over short distances, I'd say.
Okay, okay, then, yeah.
And so that was how I just leaned into the stereotype, even
Mm.
though I wasn't doing very long stuff when I was
Yeah,
younger,
yeah,
just soccer, basketball, a little bit of track.
yeah.
And that was kind of how I got started.
Okay. So do you have to explain to people, educate people about that, how you explain and educate me just now about Kenya as a country and how not everybody from Kenyans is not runners, on the certain tribes? Do you educate people that a lot?
I do, because I think it's funny. And I explain this because, funnily enough, I'm not from the ethnic groups that are known for running, but
Okay.
I grew up and I was born in the area. So
Okay.
even though we weren't from those ethnic groups, we were a different tribe.
Yeah, yeah.
We were still actually born in the Nandi Valley,
Okay then.
and actually not Nandi Valley, Rift Valley.
Hmm.
And so you do have a lot of runners in the city I was born, Eldoret.
Okay.
In fact, you have a lot of like training camps based in and
Yeah,
outside of Eldoret, like an hour
yeah,
away. I
yeah.
think of Kaptagat is a famous one.
Okay.
There's another one that's even, I forgot the name now, it's escaping me, but
Okay.
people fly into Eldoret to actually come and train there. And that's the
Yeah.
area I was from.
Yeah, yeah.
But my ethnic group did not focus on that as a way of like trying to
Yeah.
lift themselves out of poverty.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
do like to
Okay.
explain that to people.
Yeah.
And when I went back in 2017 to visit my family and explore Kenya a little bit,
Okay.
I made friends with some other women, and
Mm.
they're from the same ethnic group as me, and
Okay, yeah.
they were laughing because they're like, yeah, the only thing we're known for is like liking chicken. That's it. They're like, we don't run, they're
Okay, yeah, yeah.
but it's so I would go and I would hang out with my family in the village. This is in a different Kenya where another part of my family was. And people would stare at me and be like, what's wrong with her? Why is she running? You know? And they'd ask my cousin, they'd be like, why is she running? I will see her running every day. And I would run to the gym and then run back. Like, what's she doing? You know, they didn't understand it because that's not what
I know. Yeah.
So I thought that was funny how
I know.
They're like, we're known for this. Kenyans, this is like one of the most things, like the most notable things about Kenya is that we're good runners.
Yeah.
And then in this village, everybody's like, this woman is strange.
Oh man, I feel like we could stay on this the whole time, but you know, that's funny, but yeah, but it's real. For some Kenyans some tribe that really do run a lot, that's their way out of poverty to support their family. Yeah. So
it is.
that definitely. Okay then, yeah, that interesting. Just I guess just like America, some people, America, a bunch of black athlete, for like football, basketball is a way out of poverty to support their family, So yeah. So it kind of coincide. Okay then. So you grew up active, playing sports, all that, And so during college and after college, you were just a casual runner, I know. So you live abroad for 5 years, like that you were talking about, So and you moved back to Portland in 2022, and that way you fell in love with trail running. So kind of take us through that journey a little bit.
Yeah, so I was running very casually while living abroad. Like I did a couple half marathons here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, no training plans. I would join a lot of fitness groups and running groups while I was abroad. That was the way I found friends and connected with people. And so I moved back to Portland and I basically did the same thing. I went online, like Facebook, I went on Instagram. Anytime I'd talk to people, I would ask them if they, could recommend running groups. And I found all the running groups. I like tried to join them all. And so I was just showing up to all these groups, but there were a lot of trail groups actually.
Yeah.
And they were the groups that were meeting in my area where I was living. Those were the most common groups, the easiest ones to get to where I wouldn't need a car.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that's how I started trail running, as I just started showing up to these different groups.
Yeah.
One of the ones I showed up to that I really, really loved was Weiss Wolfpack. And that one is run by Yassine Deboun, who is an athlete for Colombia.
Okay.
And also like a Moroccan-American man. And so immediately I was like, oh, there's a brown person in here.
There you go.
And he's leading the group. So
I know,
felt really comfortable. And he was very, very, very like welcoming and all that. And, was chatting with me the first day, but it did make me feel more comfortable. Because even though I grew up in white spaces, I lived abroad for a long time and I was around like a lot of, I would say like brown people. And so I kind of got nervous coming back to the States because I hadn't been in like that sort of environment for a while. And I just felt very conspicuous. And so seeing Yassine there and the fact that he was also leading the group definitely like gave me more confidence. And so I just kept coming back. And it was really hard to switch from road to trail. In the beginning, I was like huffing and puffing up those hills. And
you were hating it. It's a love-hate relationship with the trails.
It was really hard. I remember I would see people like running up hills, casually chatting. Just casually chatting, running up a hill. And I'm like, and I think my favorite thing about trail running too was the fact that you didn't know who was going to be like super fit. Like this sport is really great about, you don't have to look a certain way to like really be, I would say like a successful trail runner. You can always build your hill strength. You can always, build up your fitness. And so I would say sometimes like these, and I admit this is me sort of judging. I need to take a step back and be like, why do I think that? But these guys with beer bellies just running up a hill, chatting.
Yeah.
I'm like just dying. I was like, this is so hard. How are they doing this?
Yeah,
But that's why I just kept coming back and coming back,
yeah,
because I
yeah,
thought it was so cool that,
yeah.
all these people can just do this.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Because we're hiking, you got just regular average people that do a lots of hiking
right.
and like a lots of climbing, So yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, definitely. And so, but we think about running, you just see like maybe people really good runners. You don't think about people just average people, just regular shape or whatever, you know, being like really good runners, So yeah, yeah, definitely, you know. So,
Yeah,
but
I love that experience.
yeah, absolutely. So that when you fell over with trail running and just they kind of evolve over the past in a short while, I might say, And so, because you completed your first ultra in 2023, and so why the ultra trail running, and what were your aspirations, or who inspired you to compete in ultra trail running?
So, I would say there was a couple of things. After I started making friends with these people in these trail groups, like we'd come back, and I'd like from the weekends or whatever, or I'd go on like Instagram or social
Mhm.
media, and I'd see their photos from these
Yeah,
incredible adventure runs they were
I
doing.
know. Yeah,
And I was like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I want to go see that. But the thing is that I've never really enjoyed hiking, and I couldn't understand. I really didn't put it together at the time until after I started doing ultras. But I love nature. I just didn't like
yeah,
hiking. And I
yeah.
realized it's because hiking is too slow and I wanted to run. And so when I realized people are like seeing these incredible things like
Yeah,
all in one day, and then also I'm not a huge fan of camping, so
yeah,
they get to see everything in one day and come
yeah.
back and sleep in their beds. And I'm like, ultra
There you
running, this
go.
makes so much more sense to me.
Hey,
Um, and so that was sort of why I got into these at least longer adventure runs.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Training with my friends is just for the adventures.
yeah,
And then there was a local 50K happening, Stumptown 50K,
yeah.
um, part of the Stumptown Trail Runs weekend. It's actually happening this weekend too.
Okay.
Uh, and Yassine encouraged me to
Mm,
jump in and do the
yeah.
race because I was like,
Okay.
I don't know if I can do it. And he's like, oh, you'll be fine. You should do it.
Mm,
And
mm,
so I signed up and I did it because it's a local race. It
mhm.
was in Forest Park, which we were running in every single week.
Yeah,
Super
yeah,
easy to get to. It's in my city,
yeah, yeah,
and a couple of miles from my apartment, so I wouldn't have to worry about
yeah, yeah,
logistics.
yeah.
But I did it, and I had a great time. And I didn't
Nice.
know, like it wasn't until probably well into like 20 something miles when I saw Yassine again,
Yeah,
on one of the aid stations coming
yeah,
back on the
yeah,
course. And
yeah.
he's like, "You're in second." And I'm like, "What?" Because I had no idea
Oh,
where I was.
wow.
I didn't know. I was just running,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah,
I talked to people and I chat with them, and I was
yeah,
like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep going, and then I'd keep going, and
yeah,
I had no clue where I was most of the time,
yeah.
and I didn't learn I was in second place until like the race was almost finished.
Oh, wow.
And so I finished as second woman
Oh,
for my first ultra, and I feel like
wow.
that's a high I've been chasing ever since.
Yes, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Still my
Uh,
best race ever, just not worrying about where I was, not knowing what was going on, and
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
That's the best. I guess that's the best way to look at it. Don't don't expect too much. I guess wherever, just be free and just do your best and enjoy. And just see what happens. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So definitely that. That put also could that your first ultra. You didn't expect to finish a top, place. So you just trying to just finish the race. And you made the second female overall. That's pretty good. You know. And so that journey led to do some more ultra trail running races. And then 2025, you run the Western State 100, So I was there in 2020 just as a fan and spectator, and the hype was real.
mm-hmm.
I got heard about it, and all that, So why Western State 100, and how was that experience for you?
So that was really incredible. I mean, everything around it was amazing. I got in through like Hoka because
Okay,
they had an
yeah,
initiative. They have sponsor spots they can give away.
yeah,
And so they were trying to increase representation at Western states,
Yeah.
particularly for women and women of color.
Yeah.
And also, like, I would say just underrepresented women in general. So
Yeah.
I was one
Yeah.
of the women that got to run that year
Nice.
with
Nice.
support from Hoka. And
Yeah.
the whole thing was incredible. I mean,
Okay.
I was able to have like a decent crew, and
Yeah.
Yassine was one of them, and he was
Okay.
training me, and
Yeah.
he paced me out there too. So it was amazing. I would say there's just so much around that race that
Yeah.
it was amazing to see the history of it.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I was saying, I told people, like, I almost wish I had more time to get into this race because I feel
Yeah.
like I will be a much better runner in a few years.
Okay.
It was so early on, I think,
Yeah.
in ultra running and my ultra
Yeah.
running journey,
Hmm.
that part of me was like, oh, but I'll be so much better, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
in a couple years from now or a
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
years from now. But I
Yeah.
was still very grateful to participate.
Yeah.
Even though I did end up getting sick.
Oh no.
Yeah, I realized I found out after the fact, but I
Yeah.
had a
Yeah.
virus, I
Oh,
think, that kicked in during the race because I
wow.
wasn't recovering afterwards.
Mm.
And so I had to go to the doctor. And
Wow.
that's when they like confirmed it with like a
Yeah.
test or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
that part was a bummer because it's
Oh
like all
no.
this preparation and it just shows you that you cannot plan for everything.
Yeah. You're right.
Um,
Right.
so I had a good 60 miles before, it all went kind of downhill. But I still finished, and I'm really happy, like, with
Yeah.
my experience in general. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it definitely felt like more of like a collective thing than like
Yeah.
a personal thing. It felt
Absolutely.
very like a collective journey.
Yeah. So you got sick, with 60 miles left to go, correct? Or 40 miles left to
With
go?
40, yeah, about 40 miles to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you was able to finish.
Hmm.
So what that tell you about yourself and to be able to accomplish that despite the obstacle that, and
Um,
thing.
yeah, I realized, I guess, even though it was definitely sort of a death march at the end,
Yeah.
but that, there's more grit than you think. You have more in you than you would expect because
Yeah.
I remember feeling like I'd never been that tired in my life,
Yeah.
not being able to keep anything,
Mm.
like sort of not being able to eat anything,
Yeah. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that. So now looking back, it was definitely one of the hardest things I've done.
Mhm.
And I'm actually happy I didn't know I was sick because I feel like if I had known
Yeah.
going on with me, I probably would have DNF'd because it
Yeah.
scared me.
Yeah.
But not knowing, I just felt like, oh, well, this is part of the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just kept being like, well, this is part of it. Like, we don't know
Yeah.
when we'll finish, but we're going to
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
And so
Definitely.
that was kind of, I tried to enjoy what I could. Like,
Absolutely.
turned into nighttime and I would look up and I'm like, oh, there's the moon and it
There
looks
you
so
go.
pretty. And,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful, cool night, So
Yeah.
I was just trying to enjoy the parts that I could.
Yeah, definitely occupy your mind wherever and not worried,
Yeah.
not focus on how you're feeling, but just appreciate it. To appreciate what's out there. They able to do it. You know, and getting to Western State's hard, and so yeah, definitely. And just even though you feel like you didn't have that experience doing a race, but you know that it's hard to get in. It takes saw lots of people some years to get in, So yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever. And then you're going back again this year, correct? Are you gonna run it again?
Yeah. Well, so I will be in the lottery.
You'll be in lottery. Okay then.
My goal is to I already jumped back in the lottery.
Okay then.
So I'll keep running the qualifiers and being in the
Okay.
lottery until I get
Okay.
in it eventually.
Oh,
'Cause
okay. That's
I do
cool.
feel like I have some unfinished business with it.
Okay. I like that. Like that.
I was looking forward to those last 40 miles because they're
Yeah.
like these beautiful downhills that I ran
Yeah.
at the training camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like conserving my energy specifically for that back half because that
Okay.
was my favorite part. And I knew it would be
Yeah.
my favorite part, but I
Yeah.
wasn't able to move very fast because,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Okay.
so I'm excited to go back eventually.
Yeah, that definitely that will help it. That will help it. And so let's move on to a different type of race. Well, the speed project. I see the speed project. Documentary quite a few times the past couple of years, and you're part of one of the speed project. If I'm not mistaken. So how that come about for you? How would that experience and all that?
Yeah, so I was invited to join a team. One of the people on our team captain, Wally, He has like a connection to a lot of brands, and he has a connection to Ultra. And
Yeah.
so Ultra wanted to sponsor like a BIPOC team for the speed project.
Okay.
And so I was invited to join this team, and I said yes.
Nice.
So I didn't know anybody on the team. I just flew into LA and I met all these people. You know, we had like shoes from Ultra and gear and stuff like that, and some North Face stuff. So it was, again, a supported event, which I really appreciate, because it takes off a little bit of that burden.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it was just a really fun event, not like competitive or anything, but when it feels almost like running meets New York Fashion Week meets Coachella.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like personal style comes into it in a way that I often see in like ultramarathons. My whole team, they were all so cool, and all have different like relationships and experiences to running. A couple of us were used to longer events. Some of us were doing more short stuff. I think one of the people on our team was supposed to be crew, but then jumped in as a runner because someone backed out. So, you know, it was really fun. It was tough. I didn't expect to not be able to sleep for like 2 days.
Oh, wow.
I just couldn't settle down. And I think part of the problem is because you're running like near like lactate threshold paces or below the whole time. And because we were doing short distances. And so basically we're doing like faster miles. And then I just would have a hard time with like settling after it was time for our team, because we broke the whole team up into 2 groups.
Okay, interesting.
And we would alternate, but it was challenging for me to even like rest when it was my group, when groups turn to rest. I just couldn't get my brain to shut down. And so it was really hard to sleep. And the whole thing is like one giant interval training thing over 2 days. But we had a really great time.
So how big was your team?
So we did the freestyle. We had 8 runners.
8 runners, okay then.
8 runners. And yeah, we did the OG route, which is 343 miles.
Yes. So you had to split. So you kind of rotate. How often do you rotate? How often do you run or something like that? If I say that right, you know.
Yeah, we would rotate out. So for the 8 runners, we would have 2 teams of 4, and then we have a sprinter van and an RV, and then whatever team was in the sprinter van, they were running. And they were alternate runners, and we would just like tag. That's because you had to have a runner out on the course to move forward, essentially. And then whatever group wasn't running, they would be resting in the van, in the RV. And we had 6 people for logistics, basically 4 people to like help drive and like map and stuff like that. So 2 people in one in the van and 2 people in the RV for driving, and then we had 2 people just for media and other stuff. So it was interesting.
It is. I see the on YouTube, documentary Speed Project, but every team or every, I guess, team will ever do it differently, I guess, I see one episode or documentary just with one runner doing that, and he had his team to help him out, So
so they really, you can do like, I think the OG team is like team of 6. Freestyle, you do however many people you want. You can have all women's teams. The TSP solo, as you're talking about, solo running. And so we also, I think we split it up according to like people's strengths as well. So it sometimes like I think me and another guy, we took like the longest unsupported trail sections because we have the most experience with like endurance events and long distance, and so it made more sense that way. So we did split it up according to like experience and ability for some of those parts. Because it just made more sense that way. But some of our shortest, like we got into like a sort of battle with another team as we're coming into to Las Vegas, like 12 miles out. And it just got really intense because we really did not want these people to beat us. And we're all like mid-pack. Like, I don't even know why we got this serious. But, we were like, we got really serious about it. And at the end, we were running sprints for like 12 miles. Everybody like doing like 800 meters to like no, like 200 meters to 800-meter dashes for 12 miles.
Oh my goodness.
We were just going like all out for, everyone's like redlining it
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
beat this other team.
That's funny.
But it was really fun.
Yeah, no, that's all. But the competitive juices just start coming out, coming out. Everybody. Uh,
Yeah.
that's good. So, what that's something you would do again? Will you do that?
Yes, because it very much also felt like, I mean, it was like a cultural affinity space.
Yeah,
A lot of times in ultra running, you're not supposed to be like, they don't, it doesn't emphasize personality. Everything is about like being humble and kind of
yeah,
this crunchy granola personality, with
yeah,
like, there's not a lot of like excitement and like
yeah. I know.
indifference.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I get it.
so I really loved this event because it was like
Yeah,
everybody looked so good. Everyone had their
yeah,
fit, their hair
yeah,
done.
yeah.
And I was just like, this is what I'm missing. I like to look good when I
I
run.
know.
I do.
You look good. You feel good. You do good.
Exactly. And I was like, oh, I miss this so much. I feel like sometimes I can't be myself or I
I
can't like
know.
be honest and be like, I'm not gonna wear
Yeah.
that because it's ugly. I'm
I
sorry.
know, I
Like
know. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Yeah, I mean, yeah, you want to dress up nice, look good, while you run, So yeah, absolutely. So
and
like,
I think about track too. Like I think about track, like track and field is big partially because like
yes,
a lot of times
personality.
track people, they're bringing that culture and that
Oh,
personality.
talk about it.
And they bring that. They actually bring the excitement, even if it's like talking a little smack or whatever. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's that type of stuff that brings people and gets views, and
yes,
gets
yeah,
money and sponsorships. And
yeah,
I feel like in trail, there's this sort of gatekeeping feeling of like, we don't
mm,
want that in trail. And it's like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
need that in trail if you want
yeah,
more money and you want this
yeah,
sport to grow.
yeah,
We will always have those local races,
yeah, yeah.
but there definitely seems to be this feeling of like, you're not allowed to be too loud, too much.
Oh, well, I get loud sometimes on the trail. I get loud. I'm loud right now, but we go to the trails. I get loud. Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting better at it. My friends know, like I'm real with my friends, but sometimes I'm like, I need to just be a little bit more honest because,
mm.
you know, I will pull up to a trailhead like blasting
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm getting
yeah,
ready for my
yeah,
long run or my,
yeah,
my
yeah,
my tempo workout.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
um,
Sometimes I like to dance while on the trail. I was on like to dance now around church now. I like now. I like to dance and just do some dance move and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly. I'm like, I want to start doing that before my 50Ks, maybe not 100Ks because I'm
there
not
you
going up
go.
that far. But like 50Ks, I'll be like, I should start doing something. That's how I
Uh,
am. That's literally how I am when I'm
there you
getting ready
go.
for a track workout.
There you go.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Get loud. All that. And I got a couple munchers like to say. You love it, hate it, embrace it. Right now, I'm hating it right now.
Right. It's like they're gonna hate it until it
Yeah,
gets more views, more eyes, and like,
yeah. Well,
you know.
it is cool. I love that. So community, you do a lot of stuff with community. You use run as a platform for the good and representing people like us, in the trail running community. How important is that for you? For you, you know?
I think it is really important. I do think about it a lot. And it's a balance because I want to also just be a runner. I don't want to think about
Yes,
it all the time,
yes, I understand.
but it is important. I used to have a private Instagram. Like I never used to have a public one. And
Oh, okay, yeah.
that was the only reason I actually made it public. I think that was when I started running ultras,
Okay, okay.
was because I was looking for people who looked like me. And I
Mm,
didn't find a lot of people.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so at the time, I was looking for people who were competing in these spaces
Hmm.
and who were just visibly, Black, out
Yeah,
in this ultra
yeah,
scene. And
yeah,
so I was like, okay, well, if you don't see it, like you've got to make it. If
yeah,
you want something, you got to show up and do it. And so
yeah, yeah,
I just went from a public or private to a public Instagram, and I
yeah,
started documenting like my time outside and
yeah.
my races. And so it is important to me. I'm trying to do my part by being more visible for people.
Absolutely.
But I also have been lucky because like I ran my first 100 miler with help from the Trail Mix Fund.
Yeah.
And that
Okay.
was a huge relief because at that time, I'm like, I don't know if I can finish this. And I also
Mm.
don't know if it makes sense for me to like spend money on this right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not just the race, it's like the logistics and
Hmm.
all the stuff around it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and so that helped alleviate some of my stress around like, is this a responsible purchase for me right now? Because um, after living abroad, I moved back to Portland with nothing. I had to build everything. I had to buy everything
Oh,
from
wow.
scratch, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And so you don't realize how much you actually have to spend on like furnishing an apartment and all these things.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh wow, I didn't realize how expensive this was. And so
Yeah.
it felt
Yeah.
like for 2 years I was sort of still building myself back up,
Yeah. Yeah.
building my life. And so racing is expensive, and that was a
Yeah.
barrier for me.
Yeah.
And at least for the first one, and I didn't even know if I could do it yet.
Yeah.
I didn't, want to spend that much money on something. So Trail Mix
Yeah.
Fund really, really helped me.
Okay.
That's how I ran my first 100 miler, and I
Oh,
always
that's.
recommend that to people.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, like underrepresented runners, I always say look at the Trail Mix Fund. And
Trail
now
mix fun. Trail mix.
mhm,
Oh, okay.
they have tons of races, and so
Okay.
that is important for me to keep giving back because I've
Yeah.
benefited,
Yeah.
even from these initiatives, like with Hoka
Yeah.
supporting me, and like Ultra
Yeah.
wanting to sponsor a BIPOC team for
Yes.
kids. I just want other people to have those opportunities, even for
Absolutely.
Miwok,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was my next question. Yeah. Miwok. Yeah. So that went to my next question right on time, So there are a couple people I'm gonna name. I want to share your thought about them. Mama Lisa Feeder and Magna Belay.
Yeah,
Which,
so I even mentioned them in my last post, my race recap for Miwok.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're incredible. I love what they're doing.
Yeah.
And when Mama Lisa reached out to me, and for people who don't know, we're talking about Lisa Felder.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is she like the first Black woman ultra runner, like in
Maybe.
our sport? Like
I don't
maybe.
know. Maybe I know for sure that, but that's some research again to look into. Yeah.
I'll have to look into it. I think
Yeah.
she's definitely one of the first.
Well, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, at that time, there weren't a lot of Black women running ultras.
yeah,
And Mama Lisa was running these. And so she's been organizing a group of, Black runners
yeah.
at Miwok for 13 years now. And it's
Yeah, no, for sure.
become, I think it's that long. It's become like a tradition.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the previous race director, Tia,
Hmm.
had supported that initiative, and now Magda is supporting it as well
Yeah.
and keeping it
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate this from both of them,
Absolutely.
and I think stuff like that's important. Like
Yeah.
there's a saying, you can't be what you can't see, and
Yeah,
so seeing
definitely.
people doing it
Yeah.
gives other people confidence. I have
Yeah.
people in my DMs, Black and brown, who
Hmm.
are always like, or even just new folks who are not used to it, like, do you have
Yeah.
a recommendation for a race or a
Yeah.
shoe or
Yeah. Yeah.
this, or
Yeah.
how would you go about this? Can I talk to you about your fueling
Yeah.
strategy or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah.
And I'm always happy to give people, tell them what I know. I
Yeah.
also tell them like,
Absolutely.
I'm not an expert,
Yeah.
but I'm happy to share my knowledge. And I
Yeah.
love that people are now like delving into the sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It definitely see more and more.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. On black or brown, people get into the trail running world, even the ultra trail running world. Um, I don't know, seeing Tommy runs.
mhm.
Seeing you preparing for the Western State 100s. This year pretty cool. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and,
definitely.
and that's amazing. Like I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
And the other reason too is it's not just about representation. I feel like it's
Okay.
important to
Okay.
note that the um the benefit, it's not all super altruistic.
Yeah. Okay.
From my end, I'm not saying from my end, but like in general,
Yeah.
these initiatives to get more underrepresented people in trail,
Mm.
there is going to be a net benefit for the brands and the races.
Yeah.
You have more people interested, you're going to make more money.
Yeah.
It's going to make your races more successful
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
business more successful. These
Yeah.
brands, they're
Yeah.
going to have more people buying their gear and their
Hmm.
shoes and their products.
Yes.
And then eventually, I always say, imagine all the incredible athletes who won't make it into
Mm.
like
Hmm.
as pro whatever sport they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
If they all transition to trail, we're going
Yeah.
to start to see some of these times
Yeah.
getting a lot
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
When you've
Yeah.
got all the people who like were middle distance runners or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
starting to get into trail after college, or
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of going pro, or
Mhm.
instead of doing college, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
missing a huge subset of the
Yeah.
population,
Yeah.
not just in terms of you're missing like them as consumers, but you're also
Hmm.
missing them as competition,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine what the competition's going to be like when
Oh,
everybody is equally represented in
oh,
the sport.
oh, oh.
There's it's gonna get a lot faster, I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely, Now, I wish I would have been to running when I was younger, in my 20s, 30s, or whatever, So, yeah, and that's the trail. Much I love it the past 10 years. I mean, I'm 50 now, so I got a late start, So,
Yeah.
yeah. But still being 50, I still like getting out to the trails, and I still love running and pushing myself and challenging myself a little bit.
No, exactly. And also there's just a benefit for everyone to be out in nature, which I
Oh,
think is
yeah. Oh, yeah,
for me,
definitely.
that's the biggest part.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, just being out. I appreciate just being out in the trees and the hills and the beauty around me. It's definitely it's a plus. Yeah, definitely cool. But yeah, I love what you're doing. You're doing great things. So you live close to Portland. So how life in Portland for you how has it been for you being in Portland?
It's good. Yeah, so I do live in Portland. Um, it has been a little challenging. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I love the running community here. It's incredible. The
Mhm.
access to nature is
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah, yeah,
We have Forest Park, which is right in the city, and
yeah,
accessible, easy to reach every single day after work, whatever,
yeah,
before work, after work. And then you have the gorge, and you have all these like mountains and stuff around. So it is a really, really
yeah,
great place to be and to
yeah.
train. Um, I am having a hard time, and this is not specific to Portland, but just in
Okay.
general, with the
Yeah.
political situation here in this country.
Okay. Yeah.
I sometimes wonder if like moving back was the right decision. I think it was the
Mm.
right decision because I wouldn't have
Yeah.
found trail otherwise. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love this sport.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wonder if it makes sense to stay,
Mm. Okay. Okay.
just
Yeah.
because I've just noticed that my mental health is not always um, great with all of the stressors of living here in this
Yeah.
country specifically.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
be out on a trail every single minute. So
I know. I know. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. I
great
got
when
you.
when I'm out there running and I'm enjoying it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it is really hard to still sit here sometimes and
Mm.
or to think about the fact that I'm contributing to what's going on in this country and globally.
Mm.
So that part does get to me, and
I understand.
because I've lived abroad,
Yeah.
I know that there are options out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but it does kind of, it would mean a huge sacrifice. It would be
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
leaving all my friends,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
access to trails that I have here,
Yeah.
you know, job prospects. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
would be a lot to move. But
Yeah.
I do love Portland though, as like
Okay.
it is my home and it
Yeah.
will always be my home.
Hmm. Hmm.
And just finding it hard to be in the US in general.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation for so many people, to see the things that are going on,
Yeah.
um, and in the country. I know talk about running, but running in life, I just know, yeah, um, yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, you do have options, so yeah, but it did tough to be tough to adapt and adjust, so yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
and I do think that's also why it's important to do stuff in your community. Like,
yes,
I try to organize, like,
yeah,
help organize local things and be
yeah,
involved locally because that makes me feel better and a
yeah.
little less frustrated. Like, I need to have an
Yeah.
outlet for my frustration.
Absolutely, absolutely. Turn that frustration into something positive.
Exactly.
What you could do in the community. What could you do to make an impact, to be a difference maker? That was I share with my wife, other people, what we could do to be a difference maker. It could be the smallest thing, but it can add up, So yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, and definitely, and make a difference. That what we going to do is just only temporary, It's just like, climb the hills of life, So yeah, you're gonna have hills to climb, mountains to climb, gonna be valleys of life, So yeah, but no, we just gotta continue reaching that peak, then be another hill to climb and get to the peak, So yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, definitely, So what has running taught you in life, you know?
Let me see.
You know?
I think I think the main one, I think people say this a lot, but it's
Yeah.
just that you can handle maybe a lot more than you thought you could.
Yes. Yes.
And a lot of your boundaries are actually self-imposed.
Hmm.
And so that's something you find with running a lot of times, like in ultras, is you have a lot more than you think you do. Your
Hmm.
body is and your mind is actually going to try to shut you down,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you need to stop, right? Because it's trying
Okay.
to always have reserves. And so
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest lesson is that there's always a little bit more than you think there is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, until there's really not, but I still feel like I'm finding my own personal limit.
Yeah.
And also that, you know, you're going to feel better if you show up authentically as yourself, no matter what
Yeah.
space you're in.
I know. Yeah.
So something that sometimes I forget in like, you know, is trying to be maybe a little more palatable or not be so opinionated or this or that.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
and it doesn't really matter whether you're running, whether you're not, whatever you're doing. You can only really be who you are. And so I'm a
Yeah.
pretty politically motivated person, and I care a
Okay.
lot about other people, and
Yeah.
I'm always going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it up,
Hmm.
because we don't stop being who we are
Hmm.
just because we throw on a pair of running shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
even through the running journey, I've realized that like leaning into who I am is
Yeah.
it's a good thing, and
Yeah.
I don't need to remove myself from
Hmm.
certain like communities, or I don't need
Hmm.
to not be involved or not emphasize certain parts of
Hmm.
my identity to fit in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But definitely, sometimes we trying to keep things separate, to run a community and life outside or wherever, So yeah, um, and that's stop us from being who we are as as an individual. Yeah, so they definitely, but they have the freedom to be who you are, or wherever, and just to be open, and still be in the red community. It's you know, it it's a good thing, So yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, being yourself, like you need all types. That's enriching to the
yeah,
community, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they had good, had different personality, Yes,
exactly.
yeah, definitely, So, who inspire you, or what inspired you to keep going during the tough time? Yeah.
During tough times. Usually my mantra, like my mantra for everything is
Mm.
the the quicker you move, the quicker you're done.
Okay, I like that. Okay,
That's
yeah,
it. I don't,
yeah,
yeah, it's hard to like, that's usually all I'm thinking about is like,
yeah, 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 yeah,
no matter how slow I'm moving, if I'm moving,
yeah,
making progress.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, basically the quicker you do this, the quicker you're done.
Oh, there you
That's how
go.
I force myself to keep going, even when I'm
Yeah,
in pain, even when
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, you could walk, but then you'll be out here for a lot longer. So maybe let's pick up the pace a little bit.
Okay, so you find a way
So
to pick up the pace, no matter how bad you're hurting.
yeah, I do a lot of mental math when I'm running.
I like that, Sometimes it's a mental game sometimes, and not just
Yeah.
physical, but mental also. Yeah, so definitely, so that's cool. So, we're gonna make it a little bit lighter, we have to get close to the end. So, what's your joy? What's your joy in running? What's your life outside of running? What else that bring you joy that makes you happy, make you giggle or whatever, Yeah.
So I love just hanging out like with my
Yeah.
dog at the park,
Yeah.
playing fetch with her.
Yeah.
If we're not running, that's usually what we're doing. I'm at the
Okay.
park, throwing the ball for my dog.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
watching her excitement and exploring and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I do really like concerts and
Oh,
dancing.
nice. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
So I really love going out for
Yeah.
specific events and things like that. And
Mm,
running, usually I'm listening to music and I'm running. It
mm,
feels like dancing, and that's
mm.
why I love it so much. That's why you'll
Okay,
always
yeah.
see me with headphones in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Occasionally I do like I will not listen to anything if I just want like a peaceful, relaxing
Yeah.
run.
Yeah. Yeah.
if I'm running fast, then I definitely have a playlist in, and it's like
Uh-huh.
a lot of dance music. It's like
Okay then.
I would be listening to if I'm at a club or
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like a club. I don't really go to
yeah.
those types of clubs anymore, but
Yeah.
like a show or
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Um, but I really just love like music in general, and so live
Okay.
music is a very like it's one of my favorite things to do outside of running.
Okay then. So are you more like old school, new school, or what?
I think so. I'm definitely more old school. I'm not super up to date on like the newest stuff.
I'm not either. I not, so yeah. So we get to the old school.
I guess like I'm thinking like kind of like funk and soul.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, I
I
really
got you.
like that. I need like with a good band and a good
Yeah, yeah,
beat.
yeah.
I also
Yeah.
like R&B, you
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Like
I'd say
like a new edition or whatever,
like
Yeah.
let me I'm trying to think. So the sad part is like nobody's even coming to mind, even though like I have a whole playlist. Like I'm thinking like Earth, Wind and Fire vibes.
Oh, you go. Oh, you know about Earth. That before your time.
Well, yeah, yes. But my mom, like my parents used to listen to a lot of like soul music and stuff
Okay,
like that.
okay, yeah, yeah. Oh,
So like
okay.
yeah, I really love funk especially. And a lot of it's informing modern day music. So
Yeah,
I'd say
yeah.
like I don't like there are some groups that have that sort of similar vibe that I really like
Yeah,
that are more
yeah,
modern.
yeah.
But I really love like just old school. And then I
Oh,
would say
okay.
like 90s to like
Yeah.
2000s rap music
Oh yeah, that was the
is really
best.
good. Like
Yeah.
Tribe Called Quest.
Oh yeah, yeah. I grew up
Or
in the era.
okay.
So did
Big Old
that.
Planets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's like that's usually what I'm listening to actually if I'm like
yeah, yeah.
just hanging out,
Yeah,
driving,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm part of that era, the 90s, so
Yeah.
that was hip hop,
Yes.
but back then. What do you have now? I don't know what do you have now.
I've given up. I don't really there's not a lot of modern like rap or hip hop artists. And that actually was hip hop, right? That's like
No.
different. I agree.
Yeah, I take a different hip. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got people just rapping, I gotta know, but you got the hip hop, the hip hop culture, it was I know it was it was community. It was like,
Yes.
it wasn't flashy. It wasn't always about, the bling bling or wherever, the money. It was like, yeah, yeah. It was special. It was special. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I mean that's what I'm listening to. So
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That was fun. Um, so last question. Gratitude. What keep you in gratitude?
I think just remembering that I can move my body is really important to me. It's always
Okay.
the way
Yeah.
that I've felt better if I feel like
Yeah.
not great or sad or whatever, just going outside for a
Yeah.
walk,
Yeah.
um, going outside for a run, being able to be physically active is a gift. And
Yeah.
so that is something I try to remind myself. There are days sometimes where I just feel like, not super great, or if I'm feeling like mentally like
Yeah.
low, I can feel better just by like going for a walk with my dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sun, when we see the sun, I'm very excited about it.
Oh, that's
Uh,
great. Yeah.
Winters
Yeah.
can be rough here, so any
I
day,
heard.
yeah, any day there's sunshine, I'm always really grateful.
I heard that we are in beautiful San Diego, so we get sunshine almost well year round, The compare, we get pretty warm weather, not too cold, better compared to like Portland or wherever, Yeah, so definitely got it pretty nice here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's for me like it's not even the cold, it's just the gray of
The
winter.
gray. Oh,
It's
I
the
got
gray,
you.
like you don't see the sun for a while, like a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
You have these
Wow.
long stretches, and you just kind of it's easy
Yeah.
to get depressed.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah, so definitely. So we done it. We make it to the end.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Cindy, for joining me on the Run Boundless show. Yeah. So before we leave, anything else that you want to share? Any question I didn't ask that you want to leave? Oh,
Yeah, I would just say to be easy on yourself. I've had to give myself a lot of grace
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Um, my training has not really gone the way I'd hoped this year. I just
Yeah.
haven't had like I'd say actually more the mental energy for it. I
Yes.
got a lot going on, but
Mm.
yeah, to just give yourself a little grace and you'll get back to it. And sometimes it's better to like, instead of forcing your way through things,
Mm-hmm.
to step back a bit. And so I had to do that this year, and it feels great. And now I feel ready again to get
That's
back to
good.
it.
That's good. So it's okay to step back, give yourself a grace, take some time, and just slowly get back into it. And that it's gonna be okay. So yeah.
Exactly.
I love it. So thank you for sharing that. That's a great nugget, for people. And thank you, Run Boundless family, for joining me in another episode of the Run Boundless Show. Live a life beyond the boundaries that you set on yourself. And thank you, Cindy, for being balanced and running in life. And you live a life beyond the boundary you put on. Well, actually, you put boundaries yourself, but I gotta rephrase that. So yeah, but you show what living boundless is. And that is possible. It's possible for you, possible for anybody else. So yeah, thank you for representing and just being who you are. Yeah, so definitely, you know. And also, anybody watching, when you watch this, please click like and subscribe to keep the Run Boundless show moving forward and continue to share with family and friends. And then until next time. Yes.
Thank you.